Charles Charamba de Buruka Ngweya kana Jehova wati hongo ndiani angaramba ndiani angabuka. God is all in us. Are we all in God? Greetings, good people. What's up? What's happening? My name is Dr. Clarence and welcome back to TCN Live, where we get to give you all the hardest and top training topics, broadcasting live and direct from Zimbabwe, Africa. Now we're seeing Chris Mutsvangwa back again in another bubble of trouble. Anyways, this is not our main story there, but anyways, we had not covered that story. 11 August. Now the time is 17:13, 13 minutes past 5, broadcasting live and direct from Zimbabwe, Africa. This will be the news day. On Sunday, they broadcast or they publish under the Standard. This is the cover page. It reads, "They wanted Mnangagwa out," says Chris Mutsvangwa. Now, Mutsvangwa would make very brutal, direct statements on Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. Remember, Vice President Constantino Chiwenga is not only the Vice President of Zimbabwe, but he is the second secretary of the ruling party, ZANU-PF. So, Christopher Mutsvangwa should respect his elders in the party. Anyways, I'm not going to cover that story first. First, we go here. What do we see here? A grand entrance. The president of Zimbabwe, Emmerson Mnangagwa, there in Rwanda, as he is attending the inauguration of Paul Kagame. The stadium is filled to the brim. There we see Zim 1 makes one round before suddenly making a halt there. And we see Zaidi leaving the car. And then the MC introduces Mnangagwa there
His
in
Excellency.
Rwanda. Now, before we go there, let's come back here. Remember yesterday we did a video. Why would Mnangagwa leave a happening SADC event? Remember, the main summit is the one that is happening on the 17th, the handover of the chairperson. However, other events are ongoing daily. We saw another guy who is a permanent secretary in the foreign ministry being handed the chairmanship of another part of SADC, which is not the main one. So I can recall it by head. Or can't I? Anyways, back here. Why would Mnangagwa go over to Rwanda? One question that I speculated there, is it a question, a suggestion? It is what it is. Did he go over to Rwanda to seek backdoor legitimacy?
Emmerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic.
Now here, this MC here calls him Dambuzo Mnangagwa. Okay, let's go back again. I'm not talking of Mbuzi that Mike Chimombe. No.
Excellency Emmerson Mnangagwa.
Emmerson Mnangagwa. Oh, brilliant Munana.
President of the Republic of Zimbabwe.
We see here moving out of the vehicle there. Now this is today. Jesus. Attention, military, as he moves out. So, it sounds like, but it's not that. It's tension. Away! Away! So this is an inauguration of president of the Rwandan president Paul Kagame. That what just happened there is a salute. Here, they are not saluting with their arms, but they are saluting with paying attention, standing at attention. Attention, attention. That is a salutation. It is a respect. Like, let's say somebody dies, we can observe a minute of silence. Now, this one is an attention. And this is an inauguration. Where are they giving that attention to every leader who is there in attendance of this inauguration? For now, let me just call it speculation. Then the big man moves to the big stage there. Then there's a background audio there. After that attention, just to notice, I'm just gonna rewind it a little bit. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live right about now. So we see today again Nelson Chamisa making a statement. All right, we're gonna go there. Let's finish this one first.
President of the Republic of Zimbabwe.
All right! Tension. Still, be still. Now let's go back to the big stage. The man leaves the stage there. Audio begin. Now there is applause there from the crowd there. Now this is Rwanda. The entire stadium is full here in Zimbabwe. For us to attend an event at the stadium, of course, we would need some yam chicken there. If there is no chicken, no Zupco to pick us up, no, we won't go. Beautiful scenes are there from the nation of Rwanda, from that. Remember, we saw Zupco branded SADC 44th Summit. Now, what do we have here with this Zupco here? Let's see where the Zupco goes. It goes where it's not supposed to go. And one woman who wasn't supposed to go, wasn't really supposed to go. Oh, there. She gets hit by the bus on her base. Jesus, oh. Check it there. So either the bus or the driver lost control there. One of those two things involved. Oh Jesus, Kiamush. And she just survives. Now imagine if that woman was wearing earphones. Now, in this one, she was conscious in it. The moment, her moments almost ceased. The moment, she almost became unalive. Now, in our lives, how many moments like this happen when we are not conscious of the Holy Spirit at work?
The Brandes Foundation is the one which authored Mumba of Zambia's document about the elections in Zimbabwe.
Now is Chris Mutsvangwa back again. What is he speaking about? Now he's speaking about, now this Chris Mutsvangwa is speaking about this Mumba from Zambia. This Chris Mutsvangwa, the guy who went to the war in 1975, only 5 years when the guys were already talking about peace talks. What does he say here?
This is the ilk from which Julius Malema emanates from. He posits as a pseudo-revolutionary.
Now he's presenting Malema as a pseudo-revolutionary. And here, what position is Mutsvangwa there? Is he a pseudo-political analyst? Is he a pseudo-ZANU-PF spokesperson? Is he a pseudo-YouTuber? Is he a pseudo-what?
And a cryptic intellectual. He never properly went to school.
Cryptic intellectual. Now, that is practically not factual.
And he propounds big theories about how Zimbabwe should.
Then he propounds big theories. Now, that is profound, big linguistic misery.
Be run as if it is his own country. At 43 years of age, he is no longer a youth. Who is he from South Africa to try to tell the youths of Zimbabwe who should be their ruler? Malema pakati papayama. He has just run
Malema pakati ipapapayama. Anyways, I don't want to spark controversy. This guy would give me an image of the zebra behavior.
Just been in election. He comes third for a party which broke away from the NC several years ago. Third from a Umkondo Wesizwe's MK from Zuma, a party which is hardly 6 months. It's clear that his pseudo-revolutionary message within South Africa is that's why he could be overtaken. That's why he never made it himself to be.
Now, the word pseudo does not mean fake. We have epinephrine. Then we also have pseudo-pinephrine. Pseudo means it is artificial. It doesn't mean it doesn't serve the same purpose. So, revisit your dictionary. Mr. Mutsvangwa, the pseudo does not mean what you want to put it in your context. You want to use a big word, something like fake, or something that is not the it. A pseudo simply means something that is artificially made with these very same properties, but it is not natural but artificial.
Become the president. So charity begins at home. If you are so good at leadership that you can give strictures to Zimbabwean youth, why not make it success your own homegrown ride to power?
Now, why would I play this video? Chris Mutsvangwa, he says charity begins at home. So I'm going to get some of the techniques he uses to make critique of others, and I'm going to use it on him. Just like that. So here we see this on the standard Zimbabwe. We see Christopher Mutsvangwa, the cover page there. Big up to everybody who's watching us live right about now. You can write a comment in the top chat or in the super chat. That's how I can see your name, so I can give him a shout out. So he writes that one here. Following the coup, what agreements did President ED and Vice President Chiwenga have, if any? Obviously, they had. This is not speculation. This is prima facie. It is as is. Vice President Chiwenga was a military man. Then we see him waiting, becoming a politician, simultaneously becoming or subsequently becoming vice president from the military into the ZANU-PF again. This reminds me of some of the papers on General Tongogara, the Supreme General, that I have been reading over the past week, where Mugabe is said to have been Secretary General of a party called ZANU. Then he is also the spokesperson to several guerrillas that they would brand under ZANU. So during the Chimurenga period, not talking of the Zipa or the Zanla or the Zipra, right? Timurangarine Timuraro, like Tongogara, Josiah Tongogara, this history, I haven't seen it anywhere yet, that he had liberated zones and semi-liberated zones which he controlled. Now, following what had happened, the clashes between the Zambian military and the Zimbabwean army, where they were trying to change leadership, trying to join Zipra and Zanla into one. These guys were doing some things, and we would see the death of this guy whose name starts with C, the guy who dies in 1974, Herbert Chitepo. Following Herbert Chitepo's death, a lot of so-called or alleged ZANU guerrillas are arrested, would this be the time that Josiah Tongogara is arrested? Now, before the Geneva conference, Robert Gabriel Mugabe would need Tongogara. Why? For there to be peace or a ceasefire, Tongogara has to agree with whatever is going to be agreed there at the Geneva conference. And also, he is more popular than Robert Gabriel Mugabe. People would follow whatever he follows. And then, for Mugabe to be significant, he has to be seen with Josiah Tongogara. Now he is released. On release, we see them meeting with Kenneth Kaunda there in Zambia. Before meeting with Kenneth Kaunda, Tongogara would have advised Robert Mugabe to avoid meeting with Joshua Ngabuko, Nyongolo, and Nkomo. However, when they arrive in Zambia to meet with the Zambian president, then the Zambian president would then advise Mugabe to unite with Joshua Nkomo, an idea which Josiah Tongogara was against. Anyways, we would see them at the following summits joining and becoming ZANU-PF, Patriotic Front. And in his own words, according to documents that are leaked by the CIA, it was a marriage of convenience according to Josiah Tongogara. So a lot of people are players here. We have the British government, we have the American government, we have the bishop who would become the first prime minister president in 1978, just before independence. We had Joshua Nkomo, we had Mugabe, and all those other guys. And the main guy is Josiah Tongogara. When Josiah Tongogara, what he suggests for a free Zimbabwe, he suggests what he calls 3-man in a jeep system, where there will be the United Nations Army, then there will be his army, and also the army that is for the nation. So, before independence, we see this so-called military element wanting to be self-dependent, to be an influential organ on its own self. And just before the independence, we would see Josiah Tongogara get assassinated by East German assassins. These details, will cover them in another video. There. Why am I talking of all this? There were agreements. Now, the not cool General Chiwenga, is he interested in succeeding Emmerson Mnangagwa, number one? If he has been, he was, then it is certain that there was a pre-coup agreement that, Mr., you take up the post, then you step down here, then I would continue there. Anyways, what are the statements from the Chris the Mutsvangwa? Let us go over there right about now. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe to TV7 Live if you have not yet already done so that you never miss an offer videos, because we make videos each and every day. Now, Chris Mutsvangwa has made several key statements regarding the campaign to keep President Emmerson Mnangagwa in power. Is it what it is, or the campaigns are very different? Like we're seeing the campaign on Julius Malema. The guy has to be seen anyway. Defense of leadership. Mutsvangwa emphasized. Now, this is the extract from the standard interview there with Christopher Mchangwa, so I just ordered it. Defense of leadership. Mutsvangwa emphasized that the youth within ZANU-PF are agitated and defending their leader against attempts to undermine him. He stated, the youth are just agitated. They are defending their leader. Some people are trying to foist themselves upon the president. So when one wants to make a point in ZANU-PF, the usual strategy, we saw the youth interface rallies. The guy who wanting to push a narrative, they put the youth before them, because the youth are the youth. They are supposed to follow their leaders. So they sent the youth. They sent them as the pawns in this game of chess, like we are seeing here, when Mutsvangwa is saying what he's saying, and he's saying the youth are saying. So if you hear a person here, I'm not saying he's the one saying that, or he's not the one saying that. He is the one saying that. That is what is, not an opinion, not for me to make an opinion on. External pressure. He noted that there are external attempts to manipulate the succession timeline, which he described as an attack on Mnangagwa's authority. Mutsvangwa said there are some outside attempts to push back the calendar of succession. The agenda is coming from the outside the party. So here he selects that the ZANU-PF youths want ED to go post 2028. He agrees with that one. But this one, that Mnangagwa should cut his calendar before even his term really ends, he is against that. But it is also coming from other elements. Maybe it is the ZANU-PF or other league. Or is it a lager or a rig? It is what it is. So here we are seeing no standards, or what they usually call double standards there on the part of Christopher Mutsvangwa. Questioning the rush. Mutsvangwa questioned the agency behind naming a successor, asking why the rush when they are still far from 2028. Why is there an attempt to push back 2028 to 2024? Now, is the story about what it is about, or it is about what it is not about? What is being said is not what is being communicated. What do I mean by that? They're talking of naming a successor. Of course, we know succession is not automatic, but it is automatic somewhere, somehow, in that the conference would become more of ceremonial, because people know from this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4, according to whatever credentials they use. Now, speaking on naming a successor legitimizes the process of naming a successor and sidelining the perceived obvious successor there. So it is a subliminal message that would not be hidden. Democratic wishes. He acknowledged the youth's desire to express their wishes regarding leadership, asserting it's a democratic wish on the part of the youth. And also demagoguery. They are free to express their wishes in the ballot. That is democracy. Here it is demagoguery. Okay, let's call it political rhetoric. Oh, okay, these guys are going to be democratist. Okay, democracy, what is it about? That's politics. They are playing politics there. Jesus. Speaking too fast. Critique of external voices. He criticized the South African opposition leader Julius Malema for discussing Mnangagwa's succession, indicating that such comments create anxiety among the youth league, leading them to support strong leadership. Now, the issue about a republic. What is a republic about? A republic is about the people. What is a state? What is a government? Malema is a politician. He has every left, every right, and every center to comment on that. Now, Zimbabwe is not a ZANU-PF asset, or as it may be a liability in some way, somehow. They do not own it. Nobody owns Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe actually owns the people. The land belongs to God. So we have a duty. It is a duty. It is a duty. It is not something that you earn. You earn. It is an honorable duty, serving as a leader of a nation. It is not a right because you would have went to join the war in 1975. 5 years later, we would get independence. All the years that come there, basically it's talks. So maybe the guy, okay. Anyways, some of the things in the war, you don't need to be trained. These statements reflect Mutsvangwa's position on the internal dynamics within ZANU-PF and the broader political context surrounding Mnangagwa's leadership. So late last year and early this year, we saw utterances by Temba Mliswa now a Sabuku saying Christopher Mutsvangwa has ambitions of becoming a vice president. Because remember, 2 vice presidents, there has to be a ZANU president and a zebra. And this guy is a zebra. Okay. That's what we see there. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live right about now. A big up to Asangara, Richard Kadondo, long time dog. Happy to see you watching live from KwaZulu Natal, Balito. Zili say KwaZulu Natal. I hope you are keeping it safe over there. Ndokunana transfer origin etc anditi. Mutsvangwa anogara akadhakwa netukuma wine. This old man haana kuhondo kwa akaenda. He is an opportunity. It's either munu akadhakwa kana kuti munhu asina kudhakwa. Beer, of course, is a depressant. It just weakens you on your body, but it doesn't necessarily diminish your mental capacity. It just depresses. It is a depressant. So beer, I Delta. Okay. I'm not drinking beer yet. I haven't drank beer for a very long time, almost 15 years. I will be drinking when I will be affording the whisks that I need to drink for wisdom, like the ones that Joe Rogan takes there. We don't want to discriminate good beer. Okay. Now, back to the standard. What else do we see there? Standard listed there. Anyways, we would see man like Nelson the Chamisa. Some of the headlines there. Woman throws baby into dam. Oh no, that's very sad. An 18-year-old here, the writer is a woman. An 18-year-old teenage girl has been arrested for allegedly trying to drown her 1-year-old baby. Junior Mafura appeared before Harare Magistrate Esther Chiwashe. And now that's it. Very sad and very disturbing. There, refugees find solace in volunteering in Zimbabwe. Okay, they are brilliant. These guys, RCS refugees, volunteers at Tongogara Refugee Settlement. Enough respect to Josiah Magama Tongogara. Catholic bishops condemn crackdown. The Vatican has waded into the SADC shenanigan. What do they have to say here? The Vatican, Zimbabwe's Catholic Bishop Conference, ZCBC, issued a pastoral statement on Friday denouncing arbitrary arrests and calling for tolerance and restraint in the country. Ahead of the 44th Ordinary Summit of the 16-member country heads of state and government of the Southern African Development Committee, SADC, scheduled for Harare on 17 August. The government has been systematically clamping down on dissent. Harare Industries make way for tax shop. Pre-summit crackdown. Emerson. USA is not issuing 66,000 visas for caregivers, facts and fiction. That is a very creative article there. Maybe they haven't, do they review numbers? How much are they offering? Mnangagwa's legacy of repression on the shore. Now, this is a very big sacrifice on the part of Emerson Mnangagwa. As we are seeing the pain of repression and crackdown being cured on him. Crackdown on dissenters, teaching the tortoise to hurry in Zimbabwe. SADC AU. And now these are toothless dogs there. Okay. Of course, we are seeing what they call the hyenas being locked up there at the zoo in Kurubi, as Mnangagwa would put it there in Russia. SADC must demand end to Zimbabwe violations. Violent crackdown against citizens must come to an end. How many articles on this one? Oh my God. Voluntary Media Council of Zimbabwe. Ngwena won't fool anyone with his antics. Then there is an image of Valero Sibanda. Obviously, this one would be an editor's review. So I'm just going to continue. A peace of mind, mental well-being, and all the other things there. So anyways, what else do we see? We see that Nelson, the Chamisa, today doesn't miss a chance. Then Chamisa rallies Zimbabweans ahead of Harare SADC summit. So this one comes after the newspaper is already published. So it doesn't make it to the e-paper or to the printed version. What is the leader of the citizens here saying? Key quotes from Nelson Chamisa's statements or interview on Zimbabwe crisis. Direct quotations. SADC is not the ultimate answer to problems we are facing. We must fix our challenges and find an answer to our question. But SADC is not the ultimate or the whole answer. God is. SADC is just a referee, but a referee chooses not to play their role. It doesn't mean that the players stop playing. You play, but you know what you are. You know that you are on your own. We are the answers to the questions ourselves. SADC is just a reference. But if a referee chooses not to play their role, it doesn't mean the players stop playing. We should know how to conduct proper and consensus national processes and institutions. What we have is an improper situation because we have an improper government. It is only a proper government that can respond to proper concerns of the citizens. Now, that is a brilliant statement there from Nelson, the Nero Chamisa, Apana Chamisa. We should know how to conduct proper and consensus national processes and institutions. We have an improper situation because we have an improper government. It's only a proper government that can respond to the proper concerns of the citizens. Consensus. Census consensus, community consensus, everybody consensus. All right, people-oriented, people-centered national processes, proper, not probed. Now the next one, the economy must be effective, performing, productive, and responding to the needs of the people of Zimbabwe. But the economy will never respond to the needs of the workers, to the expectations of the business and investors. It will never be responsible because the leadership is not properly wired. It is the leadership that's broken. The only way to address that is to have real leadership who have the mandate of the people, and that's why we must have proper processes that produce proper leaders. Now, he does proper justice to that word, proper. That is Nelson, the Nero, the Chamisa, there, the citizens' leader, the leader of the citizens. We must continue to fight until we get it. That's why it is a struggle. It's never a walk in the park. And we should never park in the walk. Let's walk the walk and park the parking. And also, we should pick this. It is not instant coffee. or picking pumpkins. This is not an issue of babies in napkins. Anyways, that is a remix. There. Message from Nelson the Nero at Chamisa. There.
Impressions of disaster development program. Nyika inovakwa nevanhu.
Now here ED remains calm. He's commenting on the development SADC, whatever he's talking about. Anyways, let me just rewind there.
Your impressions of this development process. Nyika inovakwa nevanhu. Makore maviri akapfuura. Kana wakanga wabuya kuno.
Now he begins. Nyika inovakwa nevayo. Now these days, kwese nyangomusire mvura hamo na Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, and we have seen maslogan at 2030 ambomira. Then he begins, Nyika inovakwa nevayo, in a calm demeanor. However, he would change to his Emerson Mnangagwa speaking rhythm. Watarra kubva pano hapana chawaimbobona. Iko zvino. So, when I was watching this speech from President Emerson Mnangagwa, I actually reflected, and then it would come to my mind that, oh, the guy is a grandpa. He is 81 years old. So he is no longer the father league, but rather he is a grandfather league. Of course, that is a whole other league. Of course, in other entities, we may have chess grandmasters, grand coalition, and also loan grants. Now this guy here, even though his hair is black, he is a grandfather. The Kule. Mnangagwa the Sekuru. 81 years. And ndoma taurire makule masase makule wozipigwa uchiwaka nyika yako nekuti ya
ndinofara kuti mwana vadiki muita basa ramukuita.
Ndinofara kuti imi vana vadiki mukuita basa ramuri kuita. And he is very poetic in his speak with rhythm. Of course, the way one speaks by default so shows the rhythm in the mind.
No, ndinofara nemakambani anoshanda nesu vose vanoratidza commitment yevision yezimbabwe. Chinofanira kutira ndechekuti ivavo mazimbabwenzi. Saka ndinogutsikana mukati memwoyo wangu kuti ivo vanesu pamwe chete panyaya yekuenda mberi kwedu nevision yati.
Anyways, nyaya yekuenda mberi tichiti at least hatisi kudzokera kumashure takambomira. We see another use comes. This one is from Midlands.
The Midlands province of ZANU-PF resolves that
just before the ousting of Zimbabwe President Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa Robert Gabriel Mugabe, before the coup that would replace Mugabe, we had seen Mnangagwa having shots fired at, before being fired, shots were fired at Mnangagwa at the ZANU-PF youth interface rallies. That is what happens just before a ZANU-PF Congress. They rally behind whoever. People, they are working with political party dynamics. Okay, influential figures. I'm a central committee member, Machichi. Who can I sponsor? Who can I sponsor so that they can support me in the future? Now we are seeing this same events just before Mugabe 2016-2017 period, we see youth interface rally. Now we are seeing this one there before our eyes and our faces. This youth as they rally behind the 2030 slogan or chant.
President vanogara vachitaura vachitiwo, the voice of the people is the voice.
So statements like this should stop. They betray whatever civilization is centered on. Things like democracy. Now we are behaving like uneducated Africans, hero worshippers, bootlickers. The guy is so good. He should continue. Who told you that whoever is going to come there, if it's a guy or a lady, is not even going to be what Zimbabwe needs?
Of God. Izira ruzhinji rwevanhu ndiro izira Mwari. Saka kana naivo tiri.
Then he remixes izira ruzhinji rwevanhu ndiro izira Mwari saka kana naivo. So he tries to put his own tone there. Anyways, let me just stop that video there. These utterances, they are very violent. They violate the fabric upon which constitutionalism is built on. Speak there at the ZANU-PF thing there. Of course, you have online supporters. Okay, the message, who is being primed? Who is the message targeting? Big up to Tafi Chirowe watching us alive right about now. This is disgusting. Of course, when you're speaking to your father, so these are the before the Lobola crew. Nduangari masasi kumchato. Ndiri kuti mwana wangu achata. Saka ini ndafara nechipo changu ichi chandawa nacho ichi. Andisikukupa chipo ichi zvakunupe chipo. Bantu ndangoonelera pamberi pevana. Saka ndosaka ndiri kutaura nevoice rinori. Saka zvatichaita mangwana moungana vanhu vese toda kuita musangano handiti. Ende musamboregedza ipapo nenhau yekuti ndikutaura ne50 yedidiment tone.
Now therefore the Midland province of ZANU-PF.
Okay, the momentum has ended. Now I'm reading here the province of Midland ZANU-PF. Of course, I still have the energy that I want to be exerting into this video.
Resolves that the appropriate and legal ways and means be sought to enable the extension of His Excellency President.
Okay. Anyways, enough respect to everybody who was watching us live. I can continue playing this video. Basically, it is the same structure we've seen the other guys doing the intimidation, whatever, seeking validation in their own political party, being seen as active and standing for something which the party supports or which they purport the party supports. Constitutionalism is what Mnangagwa explicitly states that he hopes to develop in this state. With that, this video is making me literally sick. All right, we had lost our connection there. I was saying this video of that guy from Chairman wherever is actually making me physically sick. Of course, most of the articulation I do, I usually use some techniques like sarcasm or twisting or spinning, but here I'm being physically affected. So with that, I'm going to sign out. Enough respect to everybody who was watching us live right about now. Big up to Richard Kadondo, says long time, see you watching there. Enough respect everybody who was watching us live.
I